At some point in your 20s, you might feel lost. Like everybody else got the manual except you. If you've ever felt like this next part is for you. Your 20s aren't about finding yourself. They're about losing everything that isn't really you. The job, the mask, the version of you that was built to please others. In hindsight, I've realized that every mistake, every reset was just me shedding my skin to see what was really underneath. If this sounds familiar, hold on. First things first, you don't have to follow the traditional timeline. You don't have to have it all figured out in your 20s. Your 20s aren't a race, they're for exploring and building your identity. The pressure people go through in their 20s is crazy. We can pretty much watch everybody's highlights on social media, forgetting that that's what they are. These are the parts people are choosing to share with us. Do me a favor, put up your hand like this. Okay, now put down a finger for every person you can count in your life that would post something on social media that they didn't find funny, they didn't like the look of themselves, or they wasn't proud of. A picture or a video like this. Put down a finger. That's the illusion you're comparing your real life to somebody else's best version. Everybody has their own timeline. And if you're going to compare yourself to anyone's other timeline, the healthiest benchmark that I can think of is your past self. 1 year, 3 year, 5 years. Would you be proud of your progress? Let that be your motivation if you need it. We've all felt it. That quiet voice inside our heads that says we're meant for more. Don't ignore it. It usually knows the way before you do. And if you disagree, then maybe that can be your next turning point. This next one might sting a little, but it's one of the most freeing lessons I've learned. People are going to judge you no matter what you do. Even if they agree, they're going to judge you on how you do it and if it's to their standard. If you literally have no way of not being judged, it seems logical to me that you do whatever the hell you want because you're going to be judged either way. So try and work on that embarrassment, either by putting yourself in those situations where you may feel embarrassed, or by finding the root cause of the fear behind why you're scared of being judged. That being said, people don't care as much as you think they do. They're actually more afraid to be embarrassed themselves. I can almost guarantee 9 times out of 10, every time you embarrass yourself, in the next 2 minutes, people will have forgotten, especially if it's in public. Here's the real crazy thing. If you're thinking that people around you are going to judge you, what do you think everybody else is going to be thinking? That's right. The exact same thing. Let's talk about something huge. Being honest with yourself. This shows up everywhere in your relationships, in your choices, in the way that you talk to yourself when you're alone. For the most part, what has happened to us from being a child to being a teenager is that we've created this sort of protective skin all around us to help us fit in and feel accepted. However, during our 20s, this is the time to shed all of that skin and see what the raw layer underneath all of that protection looks like. If you don't dive deeper into your truest self and you continue with these masks and this layering, what will happen is cracks will begin to show in your personality through your actions, through your words, through your choices. And people will sense that something is off, but they won't quite know what. And the truth is, through those cracks, what's showing is your ego. When you start hearing the voice, why did I even say that? Or that's not even me. That's your sign
that the real you is trying to surface. Dive into you and in the person you're becoming, especially the things that you might feel embarrassed about. Because things come back. Like, look at Pokemon, look at Bratz, Barbie, all of these things that were uncool in high school. Hello Kitty as well, that's another example. All of these things that were seen as uncool in high school, they are popularized in today's world. If it wasn't for Yu-Gi-Oh!, I might even have a different best friend. Sometimes the people that end up meaning the most to you finally appear when you let your quirks show. And after I realized this, the next lesson hit even harder.
This one I feel is quite hard to comprehend because most of us grow up believing that being liked equals being valuable. But when you realize that sometimes you're going to be put in front of a person that's not your person, that's okay. It's actually quite good because what they'll do is they'll challenge you. They'll ask you questions that you may not have even thought about yourself, which is healthy. This is a big one for dating too, because not everybody you're going to go on a date with is going to want to continue dating you, or you're going to have some sort of magical and special connection. Just communicate with that person that they're not your person and that that's okay. And yes, they may be hurt at first, but they will almost certainly appreciate the honesty and the respect that you have for them. And what you're doing is allowing each other to move on and find your person. When you're younger, you most likely believe that your best mates are going to be your best mates forever. But having gone through these years and having many conversations with other people around this, that's almost never true, which I know may be a hard pill to swallow. But if you understand that now and you accept it, then you're going to be in a much better position than I was when this change happened to me. Change is growth, new jobs, new priorities, new values. The truth is, you're changing too. And the sooner you accept that change isn't loss, the easier it is to appreciate the people who stay without resenting the ones who don't. So if someone drifts away, let them. You're both finding new versions of yourselves. And possibly one day, maybe your paths will cross again. Who knows? They are not gods and goddesses. The reality is your parents or carers are just humans trying to figure out the world, just like you are right now watching this video. They don't know the answers to everything. They can't fix everything. They are just trying to do their best, just like you. It's more than likely that your parents or carers never read any books or practiced or trained on how to be a parent. They had you. They improvised. They asked their friends and their family for advice. And they raised you the best way that they knew how. Give them a break. My point here is not to undermine them. It's actually the opposite. It's to highlight and appreciate all of the work they've put into raising you without having a manuscript on how to do this correctly. Shout out to all of the great parents and carers out there. This one is huge. Traveling is great for many reasons. You meet new people, you experience new cultures. But the reason why I think people recommend traveling, and most of the time without realizing it, is because what this does in reality is it tests and challenges you as a person. All of your old labels fall away. You're no longer the funny one or the quiet one, and you begin to see yourself through fresh eyes. Sometimes people will challenge you and maybe even disagree with you, which is good because what all of this is doing is solidifying your personality. Exploring the world teaches you so much about yourself. But none of this matters if you don't take care of the person on this journey. I'm sure you've heard Jay-Z's 99 Problems. I got 99 problems, but if it's a health problem, I've only got one. It goes something like that, right? Start caring for your health right now. These small habits that you build today, sleeping well, eating food that nourishes your body and fuels you, moving your body. All of these things are small investments for when you get older, and also vice versa if you choose not to do them. If you don't believe me, look at the world around you. Look at your family, your friends, people in education, people in your day-to-day life. See what their main complaints are. I can almost guarantee that they have problems with their lower back, their backs in general, their hips, or their knees. Here's a simple mindset shift that helps me. Imagine swapping your body with your best friend or someone you love. If you wouldn't allow your best friend to have that extra snack, or to not go to the gym, or to skip that dance class because they're not really feeling it, then don't allow yourself. Health isn't about perfection, it's about respect. And it's about respect for the only home you're ever going to live in, from start to finish. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I mean your body. Once you start taking responsibility for your own health, you realize something. No one else can put in that work for you, just like you can't do it for somebody else. I've seen this way too many times working with homeless adults and young people. They are trapped in this never-ending cycle of stopping and starting something that they say they want to stop. Some who have been on the brink of death, and some who have been hurting themselves constantly and the people around them, and sometimes a mixture of both. No matter how you try to help them, through conversation, through action, through external services, through whatever helpful thing you want to insert, the unfortunate truth is, unless they want to break that cycle, unless they want it for themselves, there's nothing you can do to completely break it. And in no way am I saying to stop. But what I am saying is, if possible, have little to no expectations, which I know is against human nature when trying to help others. But I promise you, it will hurt a lot less for you and for them in the long run. No matter the words or the actions you throw at these people that are trying to create a new habit or break out of a new cycle, you're not going to get them where they want to be. Yes, you can encourage them, but at the end of the day, it's under their control. Only they can truly break that cycle. So keep showing up with kindness and patience. Just make sure you're not pouring from an empty cup. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for someone is take a step back and let them meet themselves where they are. It's almost certain that at some point in your 20s, your education will stop. You'll stop studying, you'll stop learning, you'll stop researching. And this will feel alien because for 10 or more years, we've been forced to learn. Although this is scary, there's also a freeing side to it as well. Because now you can research whatever the hell you want, no matter how niche the subject. And you have no teacher looking over your shoulder and grading your thoughts and opinions and asking you to analyze what you mean. My recommendation is keep actively learning about the subject you're interested in, or the subjects you're interested in. Because as soon as we stop learning, we sort of hit a standstill and we become dormant.
Yes, we are still learning in life through experiences and lessons. However, these are two different types of learning, and they both complement one another. Even if you feel like it won't benefit you at all looking into these niche subjects, I can guarantee that one day that part of you will be shown, and it could ultimately bring your people closer to you.
We as humans are filled with so much rubbish, and eventually we explode. And instead of exploding at a person that doesn't deserve our waste, It's much better directed outwards through a positive outlet. Now, personally, I'm not a great artist, as you can see. I don't play a musical instrument. I sing, but only in my own company. I've never journaled as consistently as I would like to. I don't dance. I'm really selling myself here. But what I did do was act. And this was my way of expressing myself. However, as soon as COVID hit and I graduated, this all disappeared. And for a long time, I felt like something was missing, but I just didn't know what, because I was surrounded by those people all of the time. It became normal to me. I took advantage of it. And as soon as that disappeared, something in me was missing. And I found that thing again through making videos. This is one of my ways of expressing myself. Find your way of expressing yourself. And I'm not going to start listing a bunch of ideas on the screen for you to try out, because I feel like as I'm speaking, you've probably thought of one or maybe two ideas in your head that you used to do when you were younger, a hobby you used to do, something you used to do just for you. You didn't do it for the appreciation of others or to show how good you are at this thing. You did it because it made you feel good. Find that thing again. Expressing yourself isn't about being good at it. It's about honesty. It's about releasing the tension and the noise and the things that don't have any words. It's about how you learn about yourself without needing permission from anybody else. So whatever that looks like for you, do it loudly, do it joyfully, do it quietly, do it messily. Just get it out, because self-expression is how you turn whatever you feel into who you are.
The funny thing about expressing yourself is that it wakes something up. You start getting ideas in the shower, on the metro or the train, brushing your teeth. Grab them, write them down. Don't let these ideas drift away, because that's how you turn sparks into something real.
Those ideas that you write down, they may not make sense today, but one day you'll realize it was the start of something. Every note, every thought, every idea were breadcrumbs leading you closer to who you're meant to be. My last and final tip: try this yourself, no matter your age. Try it as a reflective exercise. Try it as a journaling exercise, because I guarantee you will surprise yourself. And plus, it's a neat little way to acknowledge your progress and how far you've come along the way. So whether you're 20, 25, or 29 and still feel like you're figuring it out, that's exactly where you're meant to be. You're not behind. You're just in motion. And maybe today your DJ plays authenticity instead of approval.